Hi and welcome back friends. Now in this video we are going to see that how to write a code to create a single linked list in C programming language, as we have covered the linked list and the single linked list part in the previous two tutorials. Okay, and in this tutorial we are going to apply all these concepts that we have learned in the previous two tutorials in this series. If you have not gone through the previous two videos on the linked list and the single linked list, then please go back and see those videos first and then come back here. Okay, so now let's move on to the main topic, which is that how to create the single linked list. Okay, so coming on to the line number 3, we have included the header file stdio.h, and after that inside the main function I have declared a variable whose name is n, and in the line number 13 here I have given a pop-up message on the terminal to the users saying that, oh look, enter the total number of elements that we need to be inserted into the linked list. And after that in line number 14 we have scan the values. Okay, now from line number 16 onwards I have used a for loop, and that for loop will run n times. That means the as we wanted the linked list to be of n in size, hence this for loop is going to run n times from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so inside the for loop in line number 18 I have declared one variable a. Okay, and in line number 19 I have again asked the value of a, or the indirectly the data that we need to be inserted in each node. Okay, and in line number 20 I have scanned the value using a scanf function and ampersand a, and finally I have used and call a function named create and pass the a through this. Okay, so now from here onwards I am going to declare the create function, define this function. Okay, so before that just fill the necessary gaps that we have in our code. Okay, so as we know that this code needs a dynamic memory concept, dynamic memory allocation concept is there inside this code. So already I am going to include the std lib.library. Okay, and after that I am going to define my own user made data type, saying that oh look, the first will be data of integer type and second will be of what, second will be pointer to the next node. Okay, whose name is next, and this next. Okay, and I am going to declare one global variable or global pointer head, as we know that head is very important for us. Okay, so here head is defined, and initially I am going to initialize this pointer with null. Okay, now I am going to define the function that we have. So that function will return nothing, hence I will do void name of the function, and after that as we have passed here a in this function in line number 28, hence I will be taking this as data part. Okay, now I am going to write the code to get the isolated node first. So as we have discussed in the previous tutorial that our first step will be to get the isolated node or independent node. Okay, so you can also say it as isolated or independent node. Okay, so let's see that as we have discussed in the previous tutorial also, to the code to get the isolated node. So first I am going to declare a temporary pointer name as temp, and it will point to null, and after that I am going to use the malloc function or the dynamic memory allocation to get the exact node. Okay, so as this is a pointer to the structure or a struct node, hence it should return a pointer to a struct node. Now using the malloc function and size of operator, and inside size of I am going to give a struct node. Okay, because the data type is a struct node. So this is from here onwards we have got the memory in my RAM. Okay, now after that what I am going to do, I am going to update the data part. So what is the data part? As we have taken the input here in line number 33 with the help of a. Okay, and we have passed the a also. Okay, and we have taken here in line number 15 a as data. Okay, so hence star data will be assigned a value of data. Okay, and star temp dot next, which is the address inside the node will point to null. Okay, so till now we have declared one node, independent node, isolated node whose value is data. Okay, and the next value is null. Okay, now our next thing is that check if linked list or check if linked list is empty or not. Checking if linked list empty or not. So how we can do? By applying the if else statement. So we know that if linked list is empty, then head should be null. Okay, so if it is null, then what we can do? We can make the head pointing to the first node. Okay, by using this. So by this way you will get the empty node as non-empty node, empty linked list as non-empty linked list. Okay, so here we have added the isolated node into a empty linked list. Okay, so now from here onwards we have a linked list of length 1 in which we have one node embedded in it. Okay, so now if this is not the case, that means the linked list is now what? Linked list is non-empty. Hence I am going to define a temporary pointer. Okay, and initially it will point to null again, and after that I want to traverse through the linked list. So I will start from the first node. Okay, so sp is the pointer to null in line number 30, but in line number 31 the p has become the pointer to the first node, as head is also the pointer to the first node. Okay, so after that I am going to use the while loop here. So while, and the condition will be check if star p dot next is not equals to null. Okay, and inside the for loop, if this is not the condition, then traverse through the list by saying that, oh look, I am updating the value of p as star p dot next. Okay, so now after this what I'm going to do, after this I will do star p dot next equals to the temp. By this way we have declared. Now I will say just return. Okay, do note here is that as head has been declared as a global pointer in line number 12, hence we can use the head in any function, and the changes that we will be making in any particular function, then that change will appear in every function. Okay, so that's why we have declared the head as a global variable. Okay, so now let's come back to our functions. So till now we have declared all the linked list, and we have added all the nodes into the linked list. So now we want to what? We want to print the linked list. Okay, so how to print this linked list? So for that I am going to use the function display here, and inside display I am going to pass nothing. That means no need to pass anything. That's why I will not pass any parameters through this function, and display function will not return anything. Hence the return type will be void. Okay, as I am not passing any parameter, hence I will not be taking any parameter in line number 42. Now I am going to again run through the list, and by running through the list I will be printing the values that has been stored in the each node. So for that I am going to take a temporary pointer again, say p here, which is initially pointing to null, and in the next line I have made this pointer to point to the first node, and after that I have said that I am going to use the while loop, and parenthesis inside that star p dot data. Okay, and after that I need to traverse, hence star p dot next. Okay, so this is how you can traverse through the linked list, and you will get an printed form on your terminal. Okay, so here save. Okay, so now just save the code and just compile it. Okay, so gcc t.c, as you can see it has compiled successfully. Now do a.exe. just wait for the pop-up message. It will ask the total number of elements in the linked list. Now it has appeared. It is asking that enter the total number of linked list. Okay, so say I give 5, that means the length of the linked list will be 5. Now it is asking the enter the data to be entered. So if I say put 1, again it is asking 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, I have taken the input inside the linked list data as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and finally it has printed the linked list here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how you write the code to traverse or to print the linked list or to create a single linked list. Okay, so now let's discuss this code and revise this code to make you understand done in this case. So first we'll start defining our user data type as a struct node, and inside that I have two types, int data and pointer whose name is next. And after that I have defined one global variable head, as we know that in the linked list head always points to the first node in the linked list, hence head is very important. So we need to maintain the head to the same position. That means it should always and consistently points to the first element of the linked list. Okay, now after this let's come on to the main function. Okay, so main function, if you will come on to the main function, so here is the main function that we have. So in line number 57 to 59 we have scanned and declared the the variable n, which says that n is the total number of nodes that we are going to insert into the linked list. Okay, and from line number 61 to 67 we have a for loop, and inside for loop what we are doing, we are consistently taking the input the actual data that needs to be entered into the nodes. Okay, so when I is 0 I came inside the for loop. Okay, so before that let's see here that the condition here is that I should be less than n. That means this for loop is going to run n times, because going to insert or add the nodes link into the linked list n times. Okay, that means this for loop should run n times, then only we will be able to declare n nodes, and we will be also able to add those n nodes into the linked list, and hence finally we will be able to get the required linked list. Okay, so this for loop should run n times. Let's see its each iteration, what happens in each iteration. Okay, so int a here, a is the actual data that needs to be stored into the linked list or inside the node. Okay, so I have scanned the a here, and I have defined a function and call a function whose name is here, and inside this function I am passing the actual data that needs to be entered the node. Okay, so once you call this function from line number 66, it will go on to this function on line number 15. Okay, so as this function is not going to return anything, hence this is void function. Okay, and after the function name, and after that I have copied the value of a, which is actual data, into the another variable which is local to the function. Okay, whose name is data. Okay, now our next step is that at each iteration I need to define new node or isolated node or independent node. Okay, isolated node or independent node means here exactly the new node. Okay, that means in each iteration I am going to get a new node, and in each iteration I am going to insert and add that node into the linked list. Okay, so first let's get a new node. So how to get a new node? By this function. Okay, so first you declare an temporary pointer which is temp, and after that do the dynamic memory allocation, and after that update the data or the actual data inside that node, and the value of the next pointer will be null. That means we have got an new node in which we have the actual data already inserted, but the next pointer is pointing to the null because still it is isolated and it has not been put into the linked list. Okay, so now we are going to add this isolated or new node inside the linked list. Okay, so first there may be condition that linked list is empty. So in case when linked list is empty, then at that condition head will be null, head will be equal to null, because as we know that head should always point to the first node of the element in the linked list, but as the linked list is empty right now, hence head will point to the null. Okay, so this is the condition. Actually there may be two conditions. So first condition is that if you declare a new node here and the linked list is empty, and if you are going to add this new node into the empty linked list, then you have to write different code. Okay, and for the next scenario also, in which you have a linked list which is non-empty and you want to add this new node into the linked list, then you have the different code which has been written in the else block. Okay, so considering the first scenario that linked list is empty, then in that scenario head will be equals to null, and hence to add the first node into the empty linked list, what we need to do, we need to just point the head from null to the to that new node. So we can do it by saying that head equals to temp. Okay, so as we know that temp is pointing to the new node that we have declared earlier, and the address of the new node is assigned to head, so hence head will point to that node now. Okay, that means we have got one element in the linked list till now. So as the list was empty, hence if block will be executed and finally it will return. Okay, so once it will return to this function, then again for loop iterates with value of I as 1. Again I will ask for the actual data, again I will scan the value, and again I will call the function. Okay, and after that again it will go on to the line number 15. Okay, the actual data will be copied into the variable data. Again I will have a new node, declare a new node, or dynamically allocate a new node. Okay, so after allocating a new node, now here head will be not equals to null, because already we have one element present in the linked list and the head is pointing to the first element of the linked list. Okay, so we have only one element right now, and hence it is pointing to that node, hence the head is not equals to null. So if block will not be executed, else block will be executed. Okay, so now we want to add the new node that we have now. Okay, at the end of the non-empty list. So how we can do? So we can do by first going through the list, or going at the last node in the linked list that we have already present. Okay, so we are going to change the next value of the last node in the linked list from null to the address of the new node. Okay, so to do that, what we are going to write here, struct node star p is a temporary pointer which will first point to the first node of the linked list, and after that I will traverse through the list until I found star p dot next is not equals to null. So once I found that star p dot next is null, then I will update the star p dot next from null to temp. So finally we will get that the new node has been inserted into the non-empty list. Again it will return, again it will come onto the for loop, again the iteration continues, and again the else block will be executed, because now the list has become non-empty. Okay, so if block will be executed only one time when linked list is empty. For the rest time the linked list will become non-empty, hence else part will be executed. So I hope you have understood till now. Okay, so if you want to have a feeling of this code, and if you want to understand by your own, then what can you do? You can take a copy and pen and just try to retrace the code and write and make the diagram of the each code, each small code. Okay, so if you take a pen and paper and you just go through this code and do on the pen and paper what this code is saying, then I hope you have understood this code to create a single linked list. So that's it for this video. Thank you and have a